Hello, Stampers. Welcome. I'm Pat Fairless from Fairless Stamp and Flair, and today I'm going to show you how to make a fun fold using a suite, I guess you would say, that of products that has currently just been put on the last chance list at the first of the month. Um, so this week I have been sharing a couple of different stamp sets that have gone on the last chance list. Um, I want to use them because I like them and they're fun. So I wanted to share them before they retire. Now, the last chance list means they're still available, but once they're gone forever. So let me flip my camera down and show you how to make this fun fold. So this is made with the Turtley Cute Designer Series paper. The bundle is called Turtley Awesome, and frankly, I didn't even use stamps or dies from that set. All of these cute little images come from the Designer Series paper, and I just cut them out. Now, some of the designs within this paper do have, I gotta just check something here. I'm hearing some feedback, so let me see if that helps. Okay, I'm not hearing it, but now I'm not talking either, so let me keep going. I fussy cut these out of the Designer Series paper. Some of the designs within the paper do have coordinating dies. These particular ones did not, so I just fussy cut them, and it's a cute little chef turtle. And this fun fold, I have no idea what the name of it is. I'm going to call it a double diagonal flaps fun fold because it's got two diagonal flaps. Okay, and the main objective of today's video is to show you how to cut this card base, and then we will assemble it using a little bit different. Here we've got a chef. I'm gonna have a swimming turtle that we're going to assemble it with. Now, the nice part about this card is once you cut one of these card bases, as I open this up, you can probably tell it is just half on the diagonal of a full size sheet of paper. So when I cut this one, I did end up with another one, but it would defeat the purpose if I didn't show you how that's done. So I'm going to use basic white cardstock to show you how I do this. I'm hoping the white will show up a little bit better on a video as I show you a couple of the tips and tricks. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock and we're going to score it at 4 1/4 and 5 1/2. And that's just the standard size that we would use for an A2 card. Now, I don't know if you can see, it's kind of hard. I got some shadows, but it is scored here in the center both ways. And now we're just going to cut it at a diagonal. Now, the issue is this doesn't really fit in the trimmer very well when you put it in. It will just fit, but it won't cut all the way. So you can do one of two things. You can just draw, and this is how I usually do it. I'm going to try it a little bit different today, but I usually just take a ruler, and you're going to need one that's a little longer than 12 inches. And I just draw a light diagonal line from corner to corner. Okay. And I don't like to make it too dark, but I'm going to make it a little darker so you can see it. And now we can just cut that with our scissors if we want. But let's go ahead and let me show you. If you didn't want to draw that line, you can lay this point up here at the top and the one down here at the bottom on your trimmer. It will fit between these two pieces. It won't cut all the way because your cutter will not go up quite all the way to the end, but you can line those points up with the groove in your cutter, both at the top and at the bottom. And you'll get most of it cut that way. I'm still hearing some feedback, so I hope you're not hearing it. So let me get this and then hold it down nice and tight here. See, and I can't get quite all the way to the top. It's going to miss just a little. And same on the bottom. So when I pick it up, I'm going to have to snip this with my scissors still. So if you prefer, you can just cut it all the way. And if I did it right or close to right, so I'm probably not in the frame, I'm just going to clip this up here to where it's loose. And the same on this side. Just cut right along that partially cut line. And we have 2 card bases. Now, if I cut it right, this should line up pretty close with that corner. And what we would do then is you want to pay attention to which way your card is. I have mine so it opens this way and up. So we're not going to be able to necessarily follow the generalized rule of always fold into the up, but that's okay. It still works. Now, before you burnish this, make sure that this line is nicely aligned with the edge of your paper, and then take your bone folder, where's mine? There it is, and give it a good burnish. I kind of push up because if you go this way, it will kind of want to bring it in. And then we're going to fold this one in the opposite direction. And again, now here, a line here at the bottom, and this edge should be basically along the other edge. The thing is with doing diagonals and things at an angle, they don't always, there's variation, right? We can't cut things perfectly every time. And I'm going to fold the other one too, then it's done and ready to go the next time I need one. So again, folding this one, this is my inside of my card base. I'm going to fold this one in. Line this up along the bottom. And burnish. And then the same thing with the top down here again. I just did it in opposite order. Align this line down here. And your diagonals should be, you can also butt those together. And you're going to hold this tight because if you push up, it can move on you, so just hold it down. So we now have 2 of these card bases. And I'm going to set those aside because I'm going to set one of them aside because I'm only going to make one for you today. I'm going to use this Turtley Cute Designer Series paper, and I've cut this. If we would make a standard mat, I've cut it however much I want a gap here. So if I want 1/8 of an inch gap, cut this at our standard 5 1/4 by 4. And here's the trick. If I cut this just in half, if I don't get this exact, I'm not going to get equal gaps along here. So you can do, if that doesn't bother you, let me see if I can show you on this one. I like this gap along here to be even, not kind of like at an angle, and equal with these. Now, if you don't care if it's a little bit off, then just cut this at an angle and you should be fine. But I'm going to give you a trick on how to do this, and I'm going to show it to you on this white one. And then I'm going to double check it on my shaded spruce card base, because this is what I was trying to explain. When we cut these angles, if you're a smidgen off, on this one, maybe you're a smidgen off this way, and on the white one, you're a smidgen off that way. they're not equal. And they never would be. And it's not because you did anything wrong. It's just natural variation. So I like to take my piece and line these two pieces up here. And now I just make a little tick mark with a pencil to create a gap that's equal to whatever I have here. Okay. And then I can take my trimmer and cut between those. Now, I am going to double check that on this one because we're actually going to make the green card. And so I want to make sure that it matches my green card. And if you are hearing feedback, I apologize. I'm still hearing some. Okay, there was my tick mark there, and down here it's a little closer to the edge, so they are not cut equally, which is not at all unusual. Doesn't mean you did anything wrong. It just means you're normal, because that is normal variation. So now I'm going to line that tick mark at the top and this one at the bottom and cut it. And that should be my piece for this upper section. And let's see how we did. I got to get my inside out of here because I already stuck some of that down. And that looks pretty good. So let's go ahead and do this one, because now this one, if I were to just lay this on the bottom, with the amount of gap I used, I actually wouldn't have any at all over here. So let's go ahead and mark this one the same way we did the other one, just use the opposite flap. So I'm going to line up equal gap on the bottom with what I picked on the side. We'll open this up and we'll grab our pencil if we can find it and just mark it so it's about that same amount of gap. Now you could try to figure out what size to actually, you have to cheat it to make sure that so you could just cut it in a diagonal, but calculating how to cheat it, well, unless you're a mathematician, let's just say it's easier to do it this way. So you can see I've got a little strip, which goes in the trash. Now these pieces should fit on the front down here. And that is almost perfect. Nothing's ever perfect, but it's close enough to not drive me crazy, which means I'm a little anal. You guys know that if you've been following me at all. And I just put glue on my paper. Wipe that off. And let's go ahead and assemble these. And now I'm just kind of trying to watch all three sides and keep them as equal as I can. And I would say that's pretty good. It's good enough for a handmade card, that's for sure. In my life as an engineer, it wouldn't be close enough for some parts, but it's close enough for a handmade card. So now let's just put this one on here. Oops, it slid. That happens to me when I often go to press it down. And that's our card base. The card base is done. So You got the second one. I've got two white ones now. I'm going to turn them into something else, and I hope you could see that okay. Now let's go ahead for the second part of it. There is a second small card. I call it the small card. On my tutorial, that's how it's referred to. And on the one on my blog post, which will be there tomorrow, April 16th, it is this one. This is the one that's on my post. I used Poppy Parade. I picked the colors from what was in the designer paper. On the card we're making now, we are going to use this little swimmer turtle. Isn't he cute? I thought he was really cute. So I kind of picked the yellows on here, swimming as opposed for red. I embossed the first one on the blog. This is with the Turtle Textures embossing folder. And I'm going to use the Soft Waves folder because he's swimming. So what better one to use than something called Soft Waves? None of us want to go swimming in big waves, right? Unless you're maybe a surfer. So the yellow I'm using here is, I have to be careful, Darling Duckling. It's terrible, but I always want to call it Ugly Duckling. And it's not ugly, but that's the name that sticks in my head. So, Darling Duckling. And that is the yellow in the designer series paper, if I recall correctly. So we're going to go ahead and just assemble this. And for the inside, I'm going to do this before I attach it to the card. I'm going to do the inside. This piece here, get it right side up so it makes sense, is also from the Turtley Cute designer series paper. And that paper has a sheet of card fronts. This one started out as like a 5 1/4 by 5. I trimmed it down to fit in here. The other half of it was more beach with the sunshine. But I'm just going to put my sentiment right on here. And I want to stamp that before I put it together. In this case, I better not mess it up because it is the last one. This paper is adorable, and there are a lot of really great. I've used most of it all up, but you can see there's a couple sheets in there that have like card front designs. I have this one left. There's two of outer one, but I have one of these left. And I have these three left. Some bees. I don't know what bees have to do with turtles. Who knows? This little picnicky looking one, and you could even make a wedding card. But we're using the beach because we're going swimming today. So let's stamp. I've got this birthday stamp from the stamp set that says, "Hope your birthday is totally awesome." And that's what we're going to put on here. And I'm going to try to put it kind of across that area. And I'm going to use shaded spruce. I feel like we should say a little prayer that I get this straight. If I don't, it's going to be what it is because I don't have another one. I can't flip it over because it's that. So, and it is a little difficult to see with the camera right in my way. I'm sure every video you ever watch, that person comments about that. That'll work. So we're going to put that on our Darling Duckling mat, and then we'll put it on the inside, and I'll show you how to attach it to the card. Now I've cut these, so I've cut them an 1/8 inch smaller. than the mat, so we have just a tiny little edge showing. And this gap is a little smaller or a little bigger than 1/8. I didn't want them exactly the same. I just think it's a little more interesting. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take this small card and we're going to adhere it to just this piece here. And to figure out where I want it, I'm going to do it with the card closed and then kind of eyeball it so that I get it equal top, bottom, and side to side. And what that does is that pretty much lines up this corner up here with this gap and this one down here with this gap. Now, I have to figure out where the glue goes, right? So if I put it back there, what I kind of did was I just lifted it up. Just try to keep it, you don't want it outside, so keep it inside. You could put it up here and here, just don't go all the way over. And hopefully what I did doesn't extend beyond here, because that would be a problem. So I'm just lining it back up. I'm going to hold this, and not for long, because I want to lift this up and make sure I don't have, look at that. I have glue in the wrong spot. Who knew I was doing that? Did you guys see me do that? I'm just going to wipe it off. This is damp. And I'm going to put a piece of scrap paper on there until that dries. It doesn't surprise me I did this, because that is not how I normally do it. Normally I put the glue only on this piece. I flipped it over and I had the totally wrong side, okay? So let's just do it this way for now until this glue dries. And let's go ahead and build our little swimmer on here. And I have not figured out where I want these guys. I've got a beach ball for them and a sand castle. Don't know if I need all of these or just a few of them. Maybe I just put the sand castle. That beach ball kind of takes over. Do I have the right? Yeah, that's the right one. Yeah. I'm thinking, do I want a beach ball? I think that's too much. What do you think? I think just the sand castle and the turtle and a seashell or a starfish. So I'm going to put these on with dimensionals. I probably need some little ones up here behind his head and on his feet. Am I totally out of frame? Oh. This is the fun part, but for me, it's also the most stressful part. I don't know why. Because I never feel confident about organizing multiple things on a card. I either feel like I add too many or not enough. I still feel like I want this beach ball on here, but it looks too much. So, all right, let's do this. Now he's going to be on his legs, so don't put a dimensional here. If I cover that up, maybe I'll remember not to. I've already got glue on the wrong spot. I don't need dimensionals in the wrong spot too. Okay, now I got a couple of these little starfish. I also have a little crab. He's kind of cute. How about that? Do I have room? I have to cut my dimensional. Okay, let's put him there. And now do I want this starfish? No, that one doesn't. That one's the same color as the sandcastle, and it doesn't show very well. Now this one is almost too big, so I really need to trim a little bit of him off the dimensional. There. I think that looks good. Okay, so this will then close over this and then like this. So you open this, and here's your first little card that they'll see. And when they open this, we have another one that I cut another swimmer, another sandcastle, a shell. I was having fun cutting. On the ones I popped up, I did put a piece of basic white backing on them. I adhered that first. I did a rough cut out of the designer series paper, and then I backed that with, I think we're going to put him there. Now I can maybe use this one. I have another sandcastle. Or should I put a shell? I don't know. I know I want him there. And I think I'm just going to cut off his legs and just have a part of him down here. But before I adhere him, I'm laying him in place so that I know where to put my grading. And this grading is from, what's it from? The Right Words. So I'm going to see if I got this on my block straight, because it doesn't look straight. It's not. It's very crooked. So we'll just straighten her out. And I think I'm just going to put way down here. And if I put the paper straight, I'm more likely to get the sentiment straight. Close enough. All right. Now we can put him on. And this guy, I'm just going to adhere directly. No dimensionals. There's enough layers on here, right? Get a little bit of glue out there on the end of his snorkel hose so it doesn't get caught on something. And let's just stick him down. And then I can flip this over. You know what I should do is close this, because otherwise I'll be laying my card in there. Okay, now I think I'm going to put But we decorate all the way across the bottom. Seashell. Too much? I don't know. I cut them. I might as well use them. They're cute. I feel like I stress over the silliest things. Like, should I add more? Should I take something off? I don't know. Where's my littler one? Oh, I think you should be by the sandcastle. I know you're thinking enough already. Just put something somewhere. I'm going to put him there. And we're going to use the littler one. Ooh, I got a little bit of a gooshy. Okay. You know what? I probably could have put the beach ball on here. Oh, well. Really wanted to use that beach ball. It's cute. Maybe I can put the beach ball on my envelope. So my fussy cutting doesn't go to waste. Are you like that? If you cut something, you want to use it? Okay, I got a little glue right there. Just get that off. Need a rubber eraser if you don't have one. Stampin' Up! Doesn't carry them any longer, but they used to. And you can get them at Michael's and a lot of places. So there we go. That is our card. Is he not cute? I think he needs a little bit of bling. So I have these hexagon gems. And since this is kind of a water theme, I'm going to pick these water, a little bit bluer ones. They're all called shades of green. Some of them are a little more bluey than they are green, I think. So we'll add those there. What about the inside? Do we need bling here? No, that one's plain. I like that one just how it is. Let's add something here. Let's add some of these clear ones that look like little drops of water, maybe. They're pretty flat, so if you want to put them on the inside, it'll work fine. There's our inside. There's the inside of our little card, and here's our front of our little card. And that is that card. Take a piece of designer series paper, cover your flat. I'm still trying to figure out where to use the extra pieces. That's what I'm going to do. But I won't make you watch me. You've watched me long enough for today. Thank you. Here we go. That is it. And here is, we've got a chef and we've got a swimmer. Since I like all things water, I'm drawn to the swimmer. I'm not a cook, and I certainly am not a griller, but he's cute too. I think this one would make a really, I made it into a thank you card, but I think this one could make a really cute Father's Day card if somebody loves to grill. So here we go. Let me flip back. I made it. I'm always glad when I got that part done. I hope you learned at least how to make the fun fold part of the card. That was my main objective. If you have questions, please leave a note in the comments. I will do my best to answer them. Or you can email me at pat@frostampandflair.com, and I will answer them that way too. More likely to see them that way than a comment on the YouTube channel. I don't always get notified about those. So unless I go look for them, I don't always see them. I'm sure that's something with my settings, but I don't know. Okay, have a great one. If you like that, consider giving me a thumbs up. I'd love to have you subscribe. And I will be back next week with something else. Until then, God bless. Have a great week, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.